last couple of videos, the lack of decent talking audio have been having issues with my mic. Okay, so this video is going to be about fibre optic install. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you it on one of these, which is the control panel navigation computer from the hold, and then I'm going to show you the basic process, and I'll show you what you can do with it on things like the cockpit as well. So without further ado, we're going to go down onto the build table and I'll show you what you need to do. The build table, I'm going to pull in this one here. This is the navigation computer that you get as standard with the D'Agostani Millennium Falcon kit. Now, a lot of people that are putting fibre optics into this are buying the Shapeways version because the holes are pre-drilled and all that sort of stuff. It's a little bit more accurate, but if you're on a budget and you don't want to do that, you don't want to go spending an extra 30 quid on just a navigation computer and an extra 100 quid on a cockpit just because it's 3D printed and is a bit better quality, then you're going to want to stay with the standard kit, which is, I'm going to show you how to do it on the standard kit, even though I may upgrade in the future. So this is the navigation computer that we glued the switches and light on the other week. This is a spare one that I happen to have lying around. So this is the one that we're going to work on. I'll put that down there. What you're going to need is you're going to need a pin vise like this, and you're going to need 0.5mm drill bits. You can get these on eBay pretty cheap. I think I got 10 for £1, so it's not too bad. And then of course you are going to need some fibre optic cable. Again, eBay. I got this stuff. It's filament, 0.5mm fibre optic filament. Just see the light reflecting off of it there. You'll need some of that as well. What I'm doing is, I don't know if you'll be able to see them. I can get the camera to focus. Is it going to focus? I might need to manual focus it. You can see all the indents there. That's where the lights would have been on the actual console. So what we're going to do, we're going to use all those indents as drill holes. So once you've got your pin vise and you locked your drill bit into it, as you can see this one's actually snapped, but it doesn't really matter. There's still a bit of threading on there and it will still cut through the plastic. You want to line up with one of your indents and you want to drill. And my pin vise is rather squeaky. Once you're through, just pull straight back and you've got your hole. Now, I'm not going to make you sit through the entire process because there are quite a few holes. Once they're all done, we'll come back and I'll show you the next step. You've got all the holes drilled now. There, I've managed to do about 32 of them, I believe. So what you need to do now is you need to cut your filament. I'm just going to be using my trusty side snips for this. And I'm going to be doing them about 6 inches long, about that long. That's usually enough to get it through a bulkhead or anything like that. So just going to cut these. I need 32 of them. Okay, so once you've got all your fibre optics cut, I do have a nice big pile of them here, 32 to be precise. Now this fibre optic cable is the exact right size to fit through these holes, so I'll show you. Pick any more random, and see it is just the right size to fit through the hole. There's very little movement, but what you want to do is you want to stop it being pulled all the way through like that. So what you want to do, you want to mushroom the ends. Best way to do that is heat. You can do it with a lighter. I'm going to do it with a soldering iron because it's a little bit more manageable. So I've got my soldering iron here, and I'm not even going to use the tip. I'm going to use the barrel, and I just want to move the barrel close to the fibre optic and keep a very close eye on it until it just mushrooms. I don't know if you saw that on the camera, but is it going to? I'll have to manual focus it again. It's no big deal. Just like that, just slight mushroom tip. So now, when you poke it through your first hole, and you pull it all the way through, it'll stop right there. What you want to do is you want to do that for all of your holes, and once you've done that, we'll move on to the next step. With the fibres through the holes, you end up with a big bunch right here. Now, to help control these a little bit, what I do is I just put a bit of shrink wrapping through around them. I don't shrink it, I just slip it over all the fibres. It's a lot easier to do once you cut them to the right length first, but I didn't think about that. There we go. So now you can pull them all and they'll all be level. Apart from that one that just doesn't want to play ball. We'll sort that one out in a minute. Now the next step is to glue them in place. Now you can only use hot glue. Plastic glue or super glue will actually damage the filament and make it fragile. So you need to use hot glue. Now I'm not sure how I'm going to be running these away from the console yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to go through the bulkhead or through the floor. If I go through the floor, it'll be bent down like that, and then hot glue will be inserted in here and across the top, and it will be sealed down like that. If I go through the bulkhead, it'll be done differently. But to show you what I mean, I have done the cockpit. Right here. What I've done is I've done this little center console here, and I've done a few on the main console here. Underneath, if I take this backing plate off, you can see hot glue in here for the main console. Pop that one back on. Nothing's glued, nothing's super glued in place at the moment. And then down here, loads of hot glue for the center console, and then they run through one piece of shrink wrap, and then they're at two different lengths. One's for the main console, one's for the center console. Admittedly, they may share some of the same LEDs, but that's just my way of doing it, so I know what's what. I'll put that to one side. What we're going to do now is just going to cut these off, and what you want to do is you want to find your shortest one, and you want to cut the rest to that length. So that's about there. I'm just going to cut them off over the bin. Just like that. Now the next step is to do a lighting test. What I've got is I've got a plain solid orange LED with a bit of shrink wrap over it, a bit of tape just to hide any extra light, and then I have a 9-volt battery box which basically takes 4 AA's and has 2 wires coming off of it, a positive and a negative. Pretty simple. I brought it from a local model shop. You do actually get one with the Diagostani kit, but it comes with JST connectors attached to it. So I wouldn't bother playing around with that one, because that is your lighting test kit for the actual kit. I'll just get an extra one, or you could even just attach it to a simple 9-volt battery. And here's mine, to show you. There's the orange LED. Just like that. So what we want to do, you want to stick all the ends inside this piece of shrink wrap, which can be a little bit tricky to get them all in. There we go, all of them in. Push it back down to the bulb, switch it on, and then there we have it. That just shows you where all the lights are going to be. So yeah, I can throw more on if I wanted to. I think where it is, I'm going to stay as it is because I may be upgrading to the 3D printed one anyway. But just the orange light, just to show you where they all go. Obviously this console does have flashing lights. The cockpit in the original films did not have flashing lights, but I noticed the other day when I was watching The Force Awakens, the background does have flashing lights, the back wall of the cockpit. So that was quite interesting. There's the center console lit up. And then there's the main cockpit lit up. So that's how you do it, guys. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be drilling a hole through the back wall and slipping all these through at once, hot glue around it to hold it all in place. I may actually be doing some fibre optics on these bits, the side sections of the cockpit, but we'll get onto that at a later date. That is the fibre optic install video. Basically, you can use that method on any part of the kit or any model for that matter. If you're running something like I've got up there, right up there, a Battlestar Galactica Mark II Viper. I thought about putting fibre optics down the guns. It can very easily be done, but I glued the model together before I did it. That's what you have to think about, is doing it before you glue anything together. I've also got a couple of other ships that I thought about doing it in, but again, I was too on the ball to glue the thing together before I actually did any proper modelling. Yeah, this technique can be used on any model, so you just got to be careful about where you're going to route the fibres and house the LED once you've done it. Now with the Falcon, there's loads of space, absolutely tons of space where you can house the LEDs, so it's not that bad. I'm not. A lot of people are using particular rated LEDs that will match up with the main lighting board that you get with the kit. There's a group on Facebook, the Millennium Falcon, the Agostani Millennium Falcon Builders Club. On there, there's a guy who will do a complete landing light set for you that wires up to the main board. He is a great guy. He's a great kit. I've seen it in person. Absolutely very well made. If you're thinking about going down that route, you really need to contact him. I will put his name in the description along with the group where you can find him. And he also does extra connectors, so you can connect your auxiliary LEDs to the main board without the board frying. You do need a particular resistor in your LEDs though. I'm not going to go down that route. I'm going to have 2, possibly 3 extra separate power packs running into the Millennium Falcon for my auxiliary LEDs. I'm going to have one for my fibre optics, I'm going to have one for my main LED lights in the floors, and there may be another kit there as well for I may actually add sounds to the Falcon as well. I'm not sure yet. But either way, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that fun jazz. Up there somewhere, probably here, is going to be my previous Millennium Falcon build video, and here will be some sort of other modelling thing, most likely a TIE fighter being painted. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.